Hey, what's up, everybody? And thank you again for stopping by my channel for another review. And today we're going to be talking about a film that's coming to Shudder on Thursday, October 8th, and it is a part of Shudder's 61 Days of Halloween event. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I've been covering this event very extensively, where there's been a ton of good films I like, and some I didn't. But nonetheless, as more and more films are releasing as they're getting into the second half of this event, I've definitely been intrigued and when it comes down to this film, I got some mixed feelings about it, but I'm here to break it all down. And this film is The Cleansing Hour. Now, let me tell you just straight off the break, the reserves I have for this film are personal reserves. And at this point now, I'm wrong for judging a book by the cover, because I went into this thinking like, oh God, another film about exorcism and something about social media. And I'm just like, oh God, it's a millennium twist to stories that we've seen, plenty of times before. And quite frankly, I'm just really not over. I'm just over it. Like when it comes down to exorcisms, I'm just like, I've seen it, and there's been a lot of bad films with this, and then there's been obviously classics that just can't be touched. So I just was just like, all right, whatever. But in good faith, I said, hey, as part of the Shudder slate of original films this month, I have to at least give it a try. And I'm here to say I was drastically wrong. I enjoyed this film. I really, really did. And I think that when I present the points about what's happening in this film, you're going to enjoy it too. But I want to start off by giving Damien LeVeck, who the director of this film, his props here, because again, for me, I feel like for what he did with this film and the the choices and chances that he took in making this film, it paid off for me. I thought it all came together really well and thoroughly, and on that fact, I enjoyed it. There's a lot of good stuff I want to talk about here, just like minimum stuff I didn't like, but overall, I liked how refreshing this film felt. But ultimately, the one thing I do want to make sure I say is that there's not going to be no major spoilers here, because this film does have a really, I'm not going to say a really good twist, but it has a really significant plot point that, if I brought about it, it could possibly ruin your experience. With that being said, definitely want to check this out when it releases again October 8th, this Thursday on Shudder, because I enjoyed this film and I'm really curious to know what you all thinks about this. So first off, let me break this film down. So Max, who's played by Ryan Guzman, this guy is him and his buddy Drew, who's played by Gallner. They got their YouTube channel or webcast, whatever you want to call it. It's called The Cleansing Hour, and basically what happens is Max is a fake me out, one of those fake me out exorcism guys or whatever, and whatever. And what he does and what they do is that they stage fake me out priest is the word, but they stage exorcisms, live stream them. So they stage the whole event, live stream it, and the whole idea is to try to grow their brand and the popularity by doing so. And so each time they do it, they just try to up the ante a little bit. And I give them the props. And another thing too, I give them the props because of the characters, but also I love this set piece of the places where they're doing this, where this was actually filmed. I thought it was a really cool and really like genuine thing of how it looks. Like I genuinely can see somebody actually doing this the way it's performed on here, and somebody trying to go big time with it. I mean, there are tons of successful shows that do stuff like this, like Ghost Hunters and stuff like that. But anyway, so their idea is just to try to really grow their brand by any means necessary. They don't care about it being ethical or not. But as you may have heard, and as you may have known, when you play with fire and you play with the devil, you're going to get burned. So they eventually tried to do this one time, and Drew decides like, hey, you know what? Let's see if my girlfriend, maybe she can be the actress that we do this set piece around. And she actually ends up becoming really possessed. So while they are, filming this live, the girlfriend is possessed by a real demon, and the demon is cashing out receipts. He's saying, hey, look, all these dark secrets and stuff that y'all have, you're going to be coughing all those up. So it becomes a stage of really confessions, a little bit of gore going on here, so a little bit of killing, a little bit of everything that's happening, all because of their antics here. So that's pretty much the premise of what happens in the movie. And I gotta say, like, again, I was very entertained, and a lot there's a lot of good in this film. First of all, I thought the gore, it was gory as hell, and it was a lot of blood. And then the acting between Ryan, who the girlfriend who's Lane, who's played by Alix, Angelis, I thought she did a tremendous job. And then again, Gallner, who plays Drew. I think the three of them as the leads, the cohesiveness between them really drives this movie. I think if they don't have that chemistry, especially between Max and Drew, because of the drama that comes on between them, it just doesn't sell really the dramatics that happen in here. And it's a lot. And again, with the stakes of everything that's happening, you really need these characters to pull on the emotions for us to be invested into it. Because while everything's happening, you know, when it comes down to supernatural beings and so on, there's always some things flying around the room and stuff like that. Now, the one little thing I didn't really like about the film is that I get it, you gotta have it, but like I wasn't a big fan of the supernatural stuff that happened here, because I felt like the things and the objects that were used with CG just looked a little wonky to me, and it looked very much fake and noticeably fake, considering everything else looked really practical. So other than that, that's like my really small thing. But again, I thought the plot was really well, the acting was really well. As far as it being a horror film, I felt like people are definitely going to be scared and on the edge of their seat, and all types of emotions are going to be pulled from this. And I just thought, again, from a movie that I didn't even give a chance, that I came out very much on the other side entertained, and I can't help but to think other people will as well too. But again, this is a solid movie. The Cleansing Hour, I am very much interested in watching it again. I am also very much interested, besides the people here watching my review, I'm just here. I'm very curious to see what social media is going to say about this. I actually think a lot of people are going to talk about this film, and this could be one of those next big viral sensation films that a lot of people will enjoy, because I feel like it's the concept. While I may be tired of exorcism, I think that's an easy lure to people, and I feel like this concept of it getting this millennium twist to it, when a person just does it to grow their social media and stuff like that, can be really appealing to some. And not to mention too, I think it does tell a good message, because it does talk about how people who are so addicted to the idea of social media presence, followers, likes, and all that other stuff, how eventually there's bad in that, and it also almost consumes you to the point that you actually become a monster yourself, to say the least here. I promise you that's not a spoiler, but nonetheless, no, it does really speak about the idea of how one can be consumed by this, that they risk everything, and by that can ultimately backfire, is really much the subplot theme to this. So you definitely will enjoy it. Oh, and I have got to add the ending. Oh my God, the ending is so wild, and I'm very curious to know if there's going to be anything to make out of this. Like I really root for films to do good, and sometimes I root for them because I want to see more, or maybe a sequel of some sort. But I swear on everything, like this film, everything in me needs to know what happens after this. Like the ending is really mind blowing, and it's just like, it's not predictable, but it's like there's nowhere they're gonna go this direction, and they absolutely do, and it's so crazy. And again, I can't stress enough, the gore in this film is just over the top. You're going to be like, so yeah, be ready, absolutely be ready. Yes, the Cleansing Hour. Totally let me know when you see this film what you think about it. Please come back in the comments, let me know. Are you excited to see this film if you've seen the trailer? And if you're watching this review, and make sure I definitely leave me some questions down there. I will definitely answer all non-spoiler questions. But as always, folks, thank you so much for watching my review, and I'll catch you all very soon.